It is a beautiful summer so far, temperature-wise. Normally we're into triple digits, and so far this year not so much. And I want to talk about something that really bothers me, pains me, which is that spiritual people, sometimes even psychology folks, religious people, New Agers especially though, talk about don't be negative. You know, if you're negative, you attract negative energy and everything stops working well. And that is true. I agree with that. If I'm in a crappy mood, it seems like everybody almost gets it. Well, of course they do. Everybody feels vibes, whether they believe in energy or not. And they react to me differently. No one talks to me. They avoid me. They're cranky with me because I'm already cranky inside. But what happens then is that people stuff their feelings and they slap a silly smile on their face and they put some fluff on top and they call themselves positive. And then the folks that I work with who buy that nonsense come to me with decades of pain, grief, fear, anxiety, and rage. And typically, if they've been brainwashed enough by New Age and chakras and angel cards, and the Christians out here are the same way, that they literally say they have no negative feelings. In fact, they can't find their tears, their rage, their anger. Oh, but by the way, they have cancer, or they have irritable bowel syndrome, or they have digestive problems, or their skin breaks out, their hair's falling out, etc. As if the body doesn't react to storing horrible, painful, scary, upsetting emotions. It does. So the part that gets to me is that the way to have, quote, positive vibes is to work on your negative stuff. Whoa, bunnies? And that is not what's not talked about. Even my meditation teacher, who's Chinese, and I get cranky because he always talks about be positive, be positive. Oh yeah, he ended up in the hospital with a bleeding ulcer one year. Bleeding ulcers, what do they come from? Stress, holding in, upset, sorry. And I could say a lot of other things about, the physical ailments that show up when we hold that stuff in. And this year I always ask the question, what to do about that. And then he made a little comment about, you work on the negative so you can be positive. One sentence, but all the other sentences were about be positive. And where's Hoshi? Hoshi, come on. Good girl, Pia. Hoshi, there she is. There's that good girl. Very good. And this is what the New Age calls shadow work, which is a really cool name for working on the yucky stuff. Sometimes I call it rotor-rooter time. Just in order to be positive, you cannot stick it in the subconscious. You cannot leave it in the unconscious and slap on sugar on top. It's still dog poo, if it's dog poo, with sugar on top. Yuck. So doing the hard work of childhood stress or trauma, relationship issues, self-hatred. Of course, you can't work on suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts in mainstream therapy because they have to report you for that. Depression. And a lot of it, people won't go to therapy because right now, for decades, it's been like this. The answer is medication, and people don't want medication. On the other hand, a lot of people don't want to do lifestyle changes, which is you're depressed because of the food you're eating and the toxins that you're exposed to in everyday household products, your laundry, soap, deodorant, etc. And no, I'm not crazy like RFK, but yes, I am crazy holistic and have been since the 1970s. And still learning because new stuff's coming out all the time. Science, new science. So to be positive is, to me, like brushing your teeth and getting dressed, which is, I need to check in. Is anything bothering me? Am I pissed off at someone I haven't told them? Am I criticizing myself too much? I need to stop and do some self-care. And then I am in a glowing, great mood. not because I chose to be that way. Like some people say, choose happy. Okay. You live in the Gaza Strip, choose happy. You are subjected to racism, choose happy. I understand the thinking they're trying to get across, but that little slogan, to me, gets misinterpreted by people as do not feel your uncomfortable feelings, nor is there any statement about what to do with them. Like, hey, take your hard stuff somewhere and heal so you can choose happy. It's not said like that. So I'm here to say being happy and being positive is fantastic. And when you're not, you're not. And guess what? When you're not happy, where's Pia? There she is. Come on. When you're not happy and you're not positive, guess what? The world does not blow up. You do not destroy other people's well-being. Their well-being is their work, their business. You're not responsible for the feelings of other people. Yes, in polite society, yes, of course, I don't want to be an asshole around people and rude and piss them off. I don't mean that. But it's not my job to be happy so everybody else is happy, so I don't disturb their good vibes. And that's the other thing I find people do. They hear the slogan about choose happy and don't be negative and don't be toxic. Now they isolate themselves. I want to remove myself. I don't want to come to meditation, people tell me, because I'm in a bad mood. I say that's exactly the time to come to meditation. This is exactly the place to work on it. So people learn to be posers and presenters rather than authentic because they have been brainwashed with this idea that being positive is a choice instead of clearing out the hard stuff. And when we do that, what remains is positive and hopeful and funny and sunshiny and warm and willing to be vulnerable. But you have to come at it differently. When people say, oh, negativity is so bad, etc., my major response is, if that were really true, I would have blown Earth up at least 4 or 5 times. I mean the entire damn planet. That's how much stuff I had to process. So I would like to say, instead of be happy, be positive, etc., I'd like to say, do the work. Clean your house every day, just like every day you brush your teeth, every day you poop, every day you check yourself for body odor and take a shower or wipe down or something. Well, we do the same thing with our emotional and energetic health. And I would also add to that your physical health. And that's the choices. Those are the choices to work on. Not choose happy, which is forcing this sort of toxic philosophy on yourself, but choose to do enough self-care that you are in the best possible place you can be given circumstances. Like, if I'm getting swept up by ice, I don't care how much self-care I do, there's going to be a lot of fear and terror, and the best I can do is get stabilized day by day and probably have a lot of good hours in the day and still live with this threat hanging over my head. Some people might be super people where they can just really trust God and get in this great mood and feel totally safe because they're in God's hands. I'm not there. I get there for some periods of time where I feel really cared for by Spirit, but it's not 24/7, and I'm not getting chased by ice, and I'm not living in the Gaza Strip, and I'm not living with an abusive spouse, or I'm not living, in a household crammed with relatives who are on drugs and drinking because I have nowhere else to live. So I want to really kind of beg you, do not do this choose happy, be positive, beat yourself over the head, brainwashing, gaslighting bullshit. Instead, check in how you feel. Do the best you can to do a little healing work that day. Get some support if you need it. Eat extra special food that will ground you and make you feel better. Wear some crystals. But all of this in the name of saying, I'm not doing so well today. Instead of faking it, and we can all feel you're faking it anyway, everybody feels it. Everybody goes into gaslighting mode. They feel it, they know it, they don't say a word. They don't even ask questions. Great, you look so pretty. I love your smile. Oh, those shoes are great. And underneath, this person is bleeding out. Oh my God. And then what that means too is that it's really hard to get support because everybody's gaslighting you because you're gaslighting yourself. Trust me, I have experienced this myself many times. And also, I have felt this too, the pressure of gaslighting myself when people say, well, you should be more positive, or what do you have to worry about? Nobody asks questions. What's going on? Are you okay? How is that for you? I'm feeling a vibe. What's happening? No, they all go, oh, you're always so positive. You're funny. I love being around you. And other things, even though they know, in some cases, that terrible things are happening to you. I don't know how Americans got like this. It's not like this in every country, I have to say. I get along, and it's particularly West Coast too, but in the spiritual communities, I find it to be the worst. This is the worst crap ever. Come on, Pia, come. Her little feet get sore in the brush, so come on, you can do it. Good girl. Oh, good girl. So I do get along with New Yorkers, and a lot of people out in the West Coast here go, New Yorkers are so rude. To me, they're honest. They go, oh, my day's like shit, and rah, 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 rah. And then they go, but, you know, it goes like that sometimes. What can I get you? And they share like a little bit of yuck that's going on in their life, and then they're happy and funny and wonderful. That is authentic. Oh my goodness, why is that so hard? Europeans are like this. Many countries I've gone to, very much you can be yourself and everybody knows it. And here's the deal. When you gaslight yourself, the message you're giving to other people is you need to go along with the program. We all need to pretend nothing bad is happening. Now, among strangers in polite society, this might be appropriate. Like you're at work and they're not your, psychology, emotional support friends. So you go, everything's good. But even there, come on, Pia. I will say something like, things are a little rough, so, if you feel a vibe from me, that's what's going on. And then I change the subject. So they understand something's going on. I know it. They know it. It's out in the air. No privacy violations, no vulnerability issues, no inappropriate emotional support stuff. What the heck is wrong with that? But when you gaslight yourself like, I'm good, I'm like, oh, the Lord is taking care of me, etc., everybody has to go along with your program because it's totally rude. Plus, it is a big boundary. You're setting a boundary saying, don't ask, don't tell. Just go with the program. Oh, my goodness. So I hope this helps. And I hope you get rid of any shame or guilt you have about your actual authentic moods and be comfortable with whatever you go through and understand that when you feel someone who's, quote, being positive is whacked out of their minds in pain and grief, you're probably right because we're in a culture that you don't talk about it. Oh, and I have to tell you, when people like that come to me for help, for work, and they've been to therapy for 10, 15 years, or they've been in the New Age nonsense for, 10 or 20 years, it takes a year or two, in some cases, 8 years, I'm not kidding, for authentic feelings to come out and be expressed. That's how deep the gaslighting has been, programmed into that person. And it breaks my heart. And it's not something I can undo. Energy, and the energy from spirit and meditation and waking up the higher self, or allowing the higher self to have some space to show up more, can really, really help. But until that happens, come on, let's go get it. Until that happens, I have to respect that boundary as well. All I can do is ask some questions, and if the answer is, no, it's not so bad, or it's okay, or things are fine, okay. I can't say I know that's different. That's completely too aggressive, rude, and not respecting what the person can or cannot handle. Okay, signing off. Getting to the stream, which is running, which is really weird that it's running this time of year, but I love it. It usually runs in the spring with the snow melt, so I don't know what this is. where this runoff is coming, but can you hear it? Cool, huh? Okay, more later.